hanging out in the shed, and we got looking at some of your questions, so we thought we'd do an Ask. We've got some wicked questions, Neil.
We do them every week as well, Mike.
Yeah.
This is a special one, because they're always special.
They're always special. This one is special. We've got some great questions. I am going to fire this one at you, Neil, because I think you've got some good knowledge on it. First one is up from Eric Schuler, and he's saying that he's built his bike up, an old bike up for his girlfriend Grace. She's only 5 foot, so she's on the small side. The bike he's built up out of old parts, basically way too big. So he's thinking, does he need to focus on getting a women's mountain bike? Well, it's women's specific geometry. Is that worth doing? Do they exist? What would you suggest?
They do exist. We've got Live, which is the women's version of Giant. Great bikes, all designed from the ground up.
Yeah.
Canyon, Juliana, of course.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So I've been looking at the Canyon websites. The Grand Canyon is their hardtail. They do, well, they call them WMN, women, version of pretty much all their bikes, I think. And the Grand Canyon starts at a double XS, goes to an XS, then a small, then a medium.
Yes.
And the double XS is for people from 145 to 152 centimetres, so pretty short. I guess that is for sort of teenagers as well.
Yeah, no.
But I think the XS would suit. That's from 152 centimetres to 162, so that's definitely going to fit.
Yeah.
That's running 27.5 wheels as well, so I think that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, and of course most frames are available on smaller size, but it's definitely recognised these days that there are geometries that really suit female form, and it's worth looking into, so check those brands out.
They come fully spec'd up as well, so suspension in terms will be different, saddles will be different, not just frame sizes. All the websites the good websites should have, like the Canyon one, give you an idea of the range of heights that suit their sizes of bikes. So.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about the saddles and stuff like that. Yeah. That's a really important point.
They do make a point, a lot of them, about talking about suspension as well, how they do change them.
Great stuff. Good first question. Next one. Hey, just before we get on to the next question, you said there at the start that design was built from the ground up. Now, I'm looking forward to the first bike that comes out that's designed from slightly just off the ground, because it would improve all of our bunny hops. We'd kind of be hovering along the trail.
Yeah.
Like what I did there? Comedy's not my thing.
That jokes.
Next question is from Tony D. Hey guys, my oldest son has got my fire going again for cycling after 25-year layoff. Love it.
That fire long gone. 25 years.
Coming from BMX and road racing background, curly bar nut job, I'm looking at getting the 2019 Giant Fathom 2. Other bikes are available. I wonder if I'm reaching for this bike when maybe I should be looking at a more entry-level MTB. Just a side note, my road bike was 1988 DeRosa Sumontana. Couldn't care less. I tell you what, that bike you're looking at is just over the £1,000 mark, UK pounds. It's a great bike, definitely a cool bike, the Fathom. Great geometry, really accessible. I tell you what, though, at £1,000 you've got a huge range of bikes.
Yes, and what you will see is in the 25 years you've not been riding, the £1,000, well, the budget end of the scale, that's not a complete budget, it's like getting a bit, but they will be a lot better than £1,000 equivalent 25 years ago.
Oh, God.
Loads of capable bikes.
So much. Now I know I'm going to be careful here, because I know we did just point to one of our brand sponsors, partners, bikes, but Canyon, just to give you an idea of your choices, Canyon's Exceed, which is a fantastic cross-country hardtail.
Yes, it is.
You're just a smidge off being able to afford one of those, the entry bike in that range. So you really want to take a look at lots of different options. So £1,000 is a lot of money, but it's definitely worth doing because you'll get a great bike.
Okay, Patrick Ruddy has plastic pedals. Should I upgrade to metal pedals, and if so, what do you recommend? # Blake's Bold.
His hair's growing back slowly.
It
is coming back. Plastic pedals, really a BMX thing, really. Don't work for mountain biking unless they've got metal pins. There are plastic pedals out there with metal pins. If they've got metal pins,
there are some.
Probably fine. If they haven't got metal pins, I would go to a bike shop, get a pedal spanner, undo the pedal, and then throw it as far as you can. Especially, never go back there. Oh, actually, don't go and get them recycled or something. Don't throw them.
Have you ever ridden plastic pedals in the wet with trainers?
Horrible. I mean, flat pedals, plastic pedals, not good. Flat pedals can be great, can be really great for your development as a rider, but you should also think about trying something like clip pedals. You know, if you're going to upgrade your pedal, then maybe think about getting some clipped shoes and
why not?
Trying a whole new style of mountain biking. And with that in mind, let's take this hilarious video where Blake tried to do just that.
What's fresh air, bro?
Certainly
Get
is.
these all tightened up.
I wouldn't spend too much time tightening those up, mate. You know what they are?
No way. Hell no. No. Have you looked at it? It's flipping icy. I'm not.
You're a great rider, clearly a flat pedal rider, but today we're going to change things up a little.
Why? Today's not the day.
It is.
No. Have you seen? It's so icy.
It's ideal. You're not going to get it wrong.
No, I didn't even know how to set them up, so I can't wear them.
There we go. Let's get into this.
Right, next question is from Ethan Thompson, and he says, I'm buying a new bike in the next couple of weeks. Quite exciting times. Sadly, the bike comes with 67-degree head angle. It's not too bad. I'd like to make the bike slacker, but I don't want to spend £170 on a Cane Creek angle set. Other headsets are available. Are there any cheaper options? Thanks, love the show.
I would say, why are you buying the bike if you don't like the head angle?
Oh, I said... That is such a Neil point.
So why don't you just look at a different bike? I mean, there might be a good reason, there might be a good price, etc, etc. You can find cheaper angle set options, or whatever you want to call them. The Works Components do one, it's about £70, $70. But the thing is with angle sets, they do, obviously, it can be a bit weird because you're just sort of changing the angle of the steerer in the head tube, so sometimes looks a little bit odd because the fork now comes out at a different angle, and it will make a bit of difference up to a couple of degrees. It will shorten your reach ever so slightly, but I would think about the bike you're buying.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point, and maybe the best point we're going to get to on that one is just maybe choose a different bike with the right head angle, one that feels right, looks right, unless there's tons going for this other bike.
It sounds like it might, newer bikes are getting longer, lower, slacker, so maybe it's an older model that you're getting cheaper that is maybe not quite so slack.
Could be, yeah, it's definitely worth thinking about. But the old headset cups, they can change. I don't know much about headsets, so Neil, I used to put mine in with 2 bits of wood.
Well, I know a bit about headsets, and I did the same. In fact, I fitted one with a mallet just this week.
I'm glad to hear that, because I literally used to put my frame with a cup on the ground and then the frame on top, and then just hit it.
And then drive your car over the top of the piece of wood and squash it.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, that's how we roll. That's how we roll. Right, let's get to another question quickly. Let's get on.
In fact, Martin, let's go back a second. The retro bike I've been riding.
Yes.
For next week's retro. Did you ever remember having to cut up Coke cans because you flared your head?
Oh yeah,
I've been doing that.
Shim the head.
It's been a blast in the past. I've been doing that this week because my headset literally fell out of the bike.
Yeah, I remember being in my garage cutting a Coke can up, trying to get a shim out.
Good old days.
Good old days. Right, Sam Chili says, hey GMBN, I know that a lot of bike companies make their own carbon frames in-house. This is quite expensive, so if you're trying to make your own bikes but don't have 100k for a mould, are there labs where you can get carbon frames made to your standards?
Well, a lot of carbon bike companies don't make their own bikes in-house. They get them made in someone else's house and then take them to their house to paint them up.
Yeah, but I would like to point out, when we say house, we don't mean in your house.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare that many people are out there making their own carbon frames.
I mean, a lot of them come from the same place in, I don't know where it is, I guess it's
Shenzhen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somewhere like that. Yeah, I mean, there are brands like Hope who are making their own carbon moulds.
Definitely some do.
Actually in-house, and then obviously making the bikes there too.
The ones that do, you'll probably know about it because they shout about it if they are doing them in-house.
Yeah.
Hope also make their carbon bars in-house, so there are some people.
Yeah, but there's brands like Atherton bikes that are essentially a carbon bike, which you would be able to contact. Those bikes are made in the UK, and relatively in-house. 3D printed titanium lugs, and then carbon posts in between. So that's the bike of the future. It used to be robot bikes, obviously, but now it's branded Atherton.
So that is the actual answer to this question, Martin, because you can get someone to build a bike to your standards, to your sizes. It's Atherton bikes.
It is.
Although you can't buy
Atherton
one yet.
saved us.
Coming soon.
Oh, but very soon. So very soon. So look out for that. And I believe they've got an enduro bike.
They have. It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, looks very, very nice.
And you can have it whatever size, whatever angles you want.
We got there in the end. We got there in the end.
Rupert Wen, please, can Blake and some friends, Death Grip crew in brackets, play a game of foot down? Would be a great video. Could become a championship monthly or over a year.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you actually, I've got a good answer to that. Yes, Neil and Blake and maybe a friend will be playing that next week. So I'm doing a video all about trials, and one of their challenges is going to be a game of foot down.
Cool. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, I'm going to be adding in. Did you?
When I was coaching, I used to get people to do it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you were well practiced in it.
Maybe.
Well, I'm going to be adding in some distractions, so it's not going to be that easy. Not going to be that easy. But yeah, a good game of foot down is really fun. If you don't know what it is, then make sure you look out for our trials videos coming up soon. And while we're at it, should we take a look at Blake and his friends having a play?
I've got two beautiful guests. We've got Ollie Wilkins, we've got Brendan Fairclough, and we've got a game of cards. Now, with these game of cards, dudes, whatever card you pick is what we got to do. Ooh. That's quite a nice sort of spread, isn't it? Should we go for fire the red? Fire! Oh! What's he got? You read it. Bren's got more speed. I'm braking too much. Bren's got more speed. I'm braking too much. Bren's got more speed. Oh! Yeah! Damn it, my...
Okay, next up, we've got a question from this guy.
Or girl, we don't know.
Yeah, maybe. The question is from him, her, and it is, in one of your videos, you said... I
don't know if I did say this.
Do not pressure wash your bike, Neil. You said that.
I used to love pressure washing my bike all the time.
And now Muck-Off has introduced a pressure wash for bikes. What the... So, what do you think it is? What do you think is a good idea, the use of that thing, if it's available in Switzerland, which I guess where this guy is,
Whoa.
Or should I stay with the old school washing by hand? Sorry for the bad English. It was pretty good English, to be fair. But Neil, you did say that. I heard you say it.
I like jet washing a bike. Your bearings don't last as long, so you need to keep on top of looking after them, making sure they're weather tight in the first place. That's going to help you out. So maybe grease your heads up a bit more often. Bottom bracket might wear out a little bit quicker. However, I'm convinced your drivetrain will last longer because it's properly clean.
That's a good point.
So I do jet wash my bikes. However, I did buy the weakest jet washer of Karsha. They do like a really cheap one, 60 UK pounds, and it's the least powerful, which I wanted.
See, right, so then you don't do that thing. Have you ever done that thing when you jet wash? I've done it on my motorcycle so many times, where you've got nice decals on your bike and you just go... and you've just destroyed it. It's the worst feeling. Yeah, so you have to be really careful. Good idea, getting a... So I guess that's probably what's good about the Muck-Off one, is probably the pressure is to fit with...
I've seen it, I don't know the specs, but yeah, get the logo.
I've not tried one yet, I'll be honest. I've not tried one yet. Haven't washed many bikes in the last 5 years.
Okay. Quan Tian, hi there. How do you wash your biking shoes? Jet wash? Actually, I quite often leave them on my feet and jet wash them whilst they're there.
Yes. Hey, you know, we mentioned Affet and bikes earlier on. I remember a really good post earlier in this year when it was really muddy weather, seeing Rachel wearing one of those all-in-one suits, and she just had a mechanic jet washing her.
Yep.
So, yeah, you can definitely jet wash your shoes, and if you've got one of those onesies on, but make sure you've got a onesie on, you can jet wash you too.
Also, I actually quite often put them in the washing machine. It's fine. People say wrap them in pillow cases. I never do that. Just chuck them in.
My wife puts shoes in a pillowcase. She does that.
Chuck them in.
I reckon she probably knows more than you. So anyway, let's take a look at this video, which is all about how to look after your kit, jet wash or no.
Now, footwear is something that's often forgotten about because they just do their job. Unless, of course, they get ridiculously wet and muddy and then you take the time to clean them. So you definitely need to make sure you look after your footwear because it harbours bacteria, and of course that leads to smelly feet. I definitely know of a few people on the GMBN crew that could do with listening to these tips. Now, the obvious time to clean your cycling shoes is the second you come back from a ride. Make it a habit, just make it part of the way that you ride bikes, prepare your bikes and get ready for your next one. Coming from a ride, when you hose it down, give it a bit of a clean down, do your shoes at the same time. With your shoes in particular, you want to be paying attention to your trailing foot shoe. What I mean by that is if you're right foot forwards, your trailing foot will be your left foot. And the reason for that is your trailing foot tends to be the one that gets all of the stuff come off the front wheel when you're in your freewheeling position. Your forward foot would always be just out of the line of the spray. That's why when you ride in wet conditions, one of your feet will always be clean, the other one won't be. It's because it's getting all the spray on it.
Now it's time to correct me if I'm wrong, Neil.
I will.
I thought you would. Right, this is Peter trying out a kicker ramp. He's built one of Blake's kicker ramps. Is he doing anything wrong here, Neil? You were an actual professional mountain bike coach.
I was.
So what do you know about this? Slow-mo, boom. Nice little ramp, definitely.
Oh, it's pretty good actually. The ramp, I would say, looks quite kicky. It's easy to make a ramp too short and too steep with a bit too much concave, and all of a sudden you're going...
But say you're Peter, you've built that ramp, it is too short and too steep, and what do you do with it? Because if you can see there, the front wheel's exiting the ramp as the back wheel hits, and he's kind of getting bucked a bit.
He soaks it up quite well with his legs, to be fair, because that bit of a buck will send you OTB.
Yes.
So he does soak it up with his legs, nicely brings his knees up, works well. I would say another method is to actually pump harder in, so squash really hard into the takeoff, and then you're not going to get bucked as much. You will probably go higher, so get ready for a bit of a slap down, or find a nice landing.
Making a little bit of a step up with it could be really fun. You find a nice gentle slope, just dig the ramp into a little bit, just so you can really get confidence in boosting out of it. Like Neil said, you get a lot more height, but more time to suck it up, and you might get a little bit of a tuck.
And when you've had enough of that ramp, build a bigger one that's a bit taller, but less, make it more mellow. Less of a concave on it.
You will be jumping cars on your street before you know it.
Yeah.
And a lot sooner than your mum and dad want you to. That's for sure. Absolutely. If you would like to be corrected because you are wrong, you can send, I don't know why you'd want that. You can send it into our uploader. The link is on the screen just there, and it's in the description down below. You can go to our GMBN uploader and go to the correct me if I'm wrong section and upload a video.
Or even send us some massive crashes and we can try and help you out, tell you why it went wrong. If you don't know why it went wrong, we can have a look. We might be able to work it out.
You never know. You know, from some of us here, we might have some knowledge. If you want to see another GMBN video, then click over on Neil's face.
Questions down below for next week's Ask, and we'll try and help you out there.
Globe there. Subscribe. See you later.
Thumbs.